Hoda Party Aluksa, the Style and Vibes Podcast, Episode 3. Welcome to the Style and Vibes Podcast with me, Michaela. I'll be giving you the inside scoop on music, fashion, culture, and more from Caribbean celebrities and tastemakers across the globe, pushing our culture with authenticity and, of course, style and vibes. On this episode, we caught up with dancehall artist Konshens. The young Sinjay was recently in New York promoting his second full-length album, It Feel Good. We talked about the new album, of course, what got him started in the music industry, even his views on mumble rappers, and find out his favorite place to perform. Without further ado, here's my interview with Konshens. All right, guys, it's Michaela from Style and Vibes. I have a huge treat for the ladies. I know the ladies are going to love this person because, you know, he's a ladies' man, but he's off the market, clearly. Konshens, introduce yourself. Welcome.
Bless up, Wagwan.
Thank you so much for taking the time to kind of speak with the Style and Vibes
Pleasure.
Insiders, and I know we're going to have a lot of fun with this interview. So tell me about your latest album, It Feel Good. I personally like the name, only because it's not It's Feel Good.
Or It Feels Good.
It Feels Good. Like, don't correct the thing.
Yeah.
Is that on purpose?
Yeah, definitely. We want the album title to be Patois. You know what I mean? And the whole concept of the album is people can't understand half of what we say, but them just love the energy because it feels good.
And I think what people like about the dancehall culture, especially the way that we speak, is that's kind of part of the vibe, is almost the allure. So I think it's interesting that you didn't change it. It kind of reminded me of the Beanie Man song. You mean 1 foot? No, me mean 2 feet.
Yeah.
And it was like he's clarifying it. So that's kind of what I thought of when I kind of first heard the name.
I think we shouldn't even worry about clarifying it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just left it out there and make people have to wonder, what did he say? And they'll pick bits out of it, and it's always fun to hear what their own translation of what we said is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's always fun.
So on the album, you kind of did a reach of different genres, and I know that that's on purpose, but talk to me about why it's important for, as fans, we kind of let the artist kind of grow in different spaces.
I don't think it's your responsibility, though. I don't think it's the responsibility of the fan. I think it's always a risk that the artist, if he wants to, should take. You know what I mean? Like, you can't force people to like your music, but if they like it, they cannot force themselves not to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's just a risk that I like taking it because I think I'm being true to myself as a music fan, which is of all the different genres, and I've been influenced by all the different genres. So I mean, I go on like I just dancehall and reggae alone, me listen 24/7, and this is I actually produce the music that I listen to as well. So I really that angle let me take it from.
So in terms of influences, what would you say coming up?
Wow.
When you were coming up, what was that one moment that said, yeah, this me I go do?
When my older brother passed away recently, say, yo, go with the music. No, I'm gonna say, all right. That was the moment. Like we have always been fans of music. We have always been spending money on music and not making money from music. You know what I mean? We write songs and we go studio and just buy studio time and just record with no aim and no direction. We just did it because we love it. So I think he had an idea that said, yo, go with the music as a profession, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Whatever you say.
Taking big bro's advice, right?
Yeah, that's how we started. So there's no big moment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the story is not that interesting. There's no big magic moment that I said, yes, this is it for me, and you know what I mean? Yeah, that was just it.
So who are some of the artists that you kind of listen to?
I listen to everything. Now, if you look at the definition of everything, you can take that definition.
But why you name a country artist?
Listen up. Take that definition there and apply it to what we just said here a while ago. So if you want to talk about Leon Rhymes and then people that are in the country sector and Dolly Parton, or you want to name some more country people? Or
no. I think it's so interesting.
Some
that
Evanescence, some Creed, some Linkin Park, some you can go over the R&B. You remember when there was R&B?
Real R&B, like Motown,
R&B, like Babyface and Tony Braxton, and then you can go over to the reggae world and say Barry Salmon, and say Richie Spice, and say Cape Town and say Sizzla Kalonji, Bojo, and go over to the dancehall world and just name everybody that has been doing music for the past 40 years. There's probably a song or a moment from each one of them I just really admire.
Yeah, I always tell people dancehall is the only space where you can go and hear Celine Dion, a Babyface, and a Vybz Kartel in one night.
The same night, yeah.
And you know, for a lot of other people, that would be like, huh?
That
but it kind of
strange.
work. And then at the end of the night, you praise God.
Yeah, I think that's the only people like to complain about what is missing and what we need to go back to the old days. And I'm not one of them personally. I believe very much in advancement and changes and growth and young people time now, and I believe in that. But I think that for dancehall lovers, I think that is something that I would bring back. I think name early juggling and the variety of music that you get. Right now you go to party them and you get like the same songs over and over, like a mixtape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what you just said a while ago. Soul's music, not soul. Soul's music. Then you have soca segment. Also, that when you say praise and worship, also that thing we get in the dancehall. I think I want to challenge the selectors and DJs in Jamaica for just get back the creative element there. And to be honest, it's a little more challenging for them because of the time constraints and the time restrictions that they have now. But I think it really just embrace the challenge and take on a more creative approach. People, we are sheep, when we stand up in the audience, we are sheep.
Yeah.
So a DJ and a selector need to understand the amount of power what them have and just use it properly. Yeah,
I definitely agree. I think it almost comes down to, as a patron, when I go, I know that they're not there the whole night. But I'm like, someone else just played this song. Someone had to play because it was popular.
Yeah.
But also, I think, younger selectors that are coming you have, external drives that you can have a plethora. You don't have to carry any
the
crates.
Boxes and
you don't have to carry any CD with a pouch. You
so
can
easy.
it's so much easier. So it's kind of like, now it's really up to them to kind of, and if you know you are the early selector, don't play nothing current. You can literally go back into your whole arsenal and just think of things that you would want to hear as a patron. So I think that is important, and I think you recognizing that is a big push to help kind of elevate the dancehall space in that way too.
For sure.
So let's talk a little bit about your style. You're ever stylish. So how would you describe your personal style?
My style is any given day, any way I feel. Like sometimes I dress all the way up when it's not really necessary. And just all the way down when I should have dressed up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just up to how I feel upon the particular day. Or, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say I have one sense of style. Like I'm a suit person, or check me out, I'm a blazer guy, or a t-shirt. Like it's just anything for me. Anything goes. Is
there like a kind of cut or something very specific? Like I always have to have a watch. I always have to have a chain. Or I always have to have some kind of, like, my shoes have to clean and, crisp or...
No, I like clean things regardless.
Yeah.
So, the clean part there, it have to clean. What style are you, man? Jamaican thing. So, have to clean regardless. I don't think there's any other thing that is a must-have for me. You know what I mean? I just go anywhere I feel on the day.
So, how do you shop? Online, in store, a little bit.
I recently start shop online aggressively, and because I have less time on my hands, and I don't like send people go shop for me.
Yeah.
So online shopping has been helping me, but like with the place like New York now, so I deal with Soho, Wicked. You know what I mean? And Aventura Mall and Miami, and every chance I get, I like running, and I think when we do them. It's sporadic. When you do them while shopping, you end up spend more than what you've done for spend. And the lifestyle, something more I take up all them.
You gotta keep some in the bank, right?
Yeah. I'm one of them person that one is not enough. It's always going over and over and over. So I need that.
Yeah, I like it. So in terms of what we can expect next, are you thinking about legacy building, or are you just making the music and seeing where it goes?
I think, we're reaching in our state now where it's all about social media, and people are so in touch with the actual artist, the actual person. You know what I mean? That you're naturally building your legacy whether you want to or not by your actions, because you live under the microscope even more. I think for where music is concerned, I'm not focused on every song need to be a hit. But more focused on this song need to get them people out of this mood or put them into this mood, or each listener should be able to connect. If I do a song when I'm beautiful and I sing about beautiful women, it's for beautiful women and not just social media beautiful or whatever the world says is beautiful, but every woman, it's supposed to highlight that in your mind, say, I'm beautiful. You get a message? So I just really, them things I'm on right now, just to do songs to connect to particular people.
I like it. In terms of performing, you perform all over the world.
Everywhere, yeah.
What are the differences in terms of the different markets? So in the Caribbean, what's the vibe? How is it different from here in the U.S. versus in Africa or Europe? And which one is your favorite?
Jamaica.
Always.
Yeah, I think Jamaica is all about a vibe and an energy. Most artists that tour Europe and tour Africa and tour globally, then will come back and tell us, yes, the people and why you sing out your song and I'm in love him third verse and more I hear it and the bridge and the something them and this and that, and then them say, all right, Europe people love band, Africa love when you go with a DJ, because them love the thing with them call all time word bashment. Remember we used to say bashment? This is a big word what them work with for bashment. And that is true, and Jamaica is that, but it's also it's more of a vibe. Like, people don't necessarily want you to sing out your song in Jamaica unless the vibe is there. You get what I say? Yeah, it's more watching the audience and getting the energy from the audience and the feedback. Since lately, let me see it turn on big cell phone thing though. Everybody just have the cell phone a point and nobody not really into the show. Yeah. But that's still your task to connect with the audience like that. That's Jamaica and the Caribbean. UK and the tri-state and them places are still Jamaica. They are the same thing. Same thing. Well, one way of Caribbean people pack up everywhere. Yeah. So we just love the energy there and just bring, so when you go them places, I just straight energy and vibe. You watch a crowd and you interact with them and give them the music, man.
And what I noticed is I was at the Apple event last night and I've seen you on a stage show and you pretty much give the same energy regardless of the size of the audience. Do you have a preference of which one you like?
Big show or small setting?
Yeah.
For me like audience of my fans. Some artists perform to promote. I don't. I've never liked that concept of performing to promote. I like promote then perform. So when you pay your money and come to my show, you're not supposed to say 10 new songs and check out the brand new one. No, you're supposed to come hear the songs where you love and me supposed to deliver them properly. But with that being said, if I go on a stage and this is my show and you pay to come and you're going like a judge, you come here for judge me, you never come to enjoy yourself, I will gladly remind you that I've been paid. And I will leave. I will go there and you have some artists that give 150% regardless of the energy that the crowd is giving her, I don't need that. If you're giving me that energy, then this is going to be one of the most memorable times of your life. If you're going like you're nicer than me I go just come off and count my money. I can't pretend I'm going like, I don't need that. So I'm like a sponge. If you give me the energy, I give it right back.
Okay, you hear that, ladies? Give him the energy and give it right back.
Give it back. Simple,
On stage.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So you kind of touched on social media a little bit and how that has kind of impacted artists today. Is there a place of how do you approach it, from sharing what you're doing as an artist to interacting with your family? How do you kind of gauge what is appropriate for your fans to let them see versus keeping certain things private?
I think one of the things that people like to do is, you know, each person have them own morals and them own beliefs and the ideas of what they think is appropriate and what is inappropriate. And I say what is for you not necessarily must be for me. So things that I will find is okay, you not must find them okay, and I have the right to not care what you think. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's really up to me and my principles, and that's how I live my life really. As far as what the internet has been to me, like everything else in our life is like good and bad. You know what I mean? It's good that I can post and say, I'll be in Brooklyn. I won't have to promote my radio, I won't have to do anything else but me post it and then people show up. And that's the good thing. But the bad thing is when people can comment under your thing and you know what I mean, and bring the negative side out. You have to just accept it and know that this is life. If you want the good out of it, you have to just welcome the bad will come with it too.
Yeah. I think that's an aspect. Has that come with growth in terms of growing as an artist, or is that something you came in the game kind of understanding? Like some of this kind of comes with the territory, or is it something that you kind of had to adjust to?
Over time, I was way more defensive in earlier days. You know what I mean? But then I think over the years I developed a huge love for people. Like one day I just kick back and look at my house and car and look at my friend, them and visa and them family, alright. And I say, yo, our fans give it all of this, you know. Like everything I go on, I say our fans. So that's why when you say, if I have a show and if 200, 300 people line up for take picture, I hug up all of them tight and take the picture. Like me just develop this huge love for fans.
Yeah.
And so it did get me out of the defensive mode a little bit, and because I understand, say, 7 brothers, 7 different minds. Some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it, and you can't really lash out at everybody. Some cross the line and you have to burn a fire upon them still, and I'm afraid of that one day. But, you know what I mean, I understand people a little bit more now, and I always been a person that had thick skin. So I think it has been growth over the years that create a mindset I have.
So musically speaking, there's a lot of fusions happening between, it's almost like a cross-pollination of like soca, Afrobeats.
I love it.
I love it too, and I think it's going to continue to grow. How do you think that will positively impact, you know, other artists coming in as the genres kind of melt together in a way that feels right? I feel like it's not forced. It kind of just feels right. Like it feels good.
Yeah, I love it. I love it because it is like you have to be aware that there were artists before us, and then we came as the new thing, and then you gotta have artists who come after, and then I come with the new thing. Like I see this big struggle, this big argument are going in a hip hop world. With the choppers, them know, like old school hip hop heads really hate the choppers, the new chop artists, and I think the labeling wrong, the labeling of the genres. I don't think, and the funny thing is, the chop artists, they're not trying to say that they are rappers or they are hip hop artists, however, but the hip hop artists are just really offended.
Yeah.
But I think them to just create a genre. I think we need to create some genres and say, all right, like how them say chop, them have mumble rap. However, it just should not be classified as hip-hop. So hip-hop, though, you know, have to feel offended because another way you can look at it is these are kids that some of them were trying to be rappers and they didn't get that support from their own black people. When the white people them hear the trap music and the lifestyle that trap kids live, these kids like them get rich in like a month and then can feed them family and them the crazy stuff with their money or whatever, but you can't tell a man if you do with the money. So I think you have to look on it and say this thing I feed people, like this I create jobs to people, and them you they could have we want somebody who will rob you. Them could have be a part of the unemployed percentage or whatever. So I think them just need to label them own thing, and that's how I look at music. Advancement is something you have to welcome.
And it's not to say that those sounds disappear; they just change.
No, they change. And I think. Remember, there was each time something come. There was a time where each time a new sound came about, they gave it a name. Skia, name them the mentor, the different until it evolved into mentor. Then them get dancehall music out of it and say, all right, dancehall. I think we should have been had a new genre already in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Even worse, in America, there should have had different genres.
Yeah.
Because there's some different type of thing where the sounds are different.
The sounds are different.
And the fans are totally different too.
So it's just a respect thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you listen to any one of the new trap artists now, them quick for tell you, yo, I'm not a lyricist, I'm not a rapper.
Yeah.
So just take them out and rap them, put them in a one different, make them create a different genre.
Yeah. And it's just what's popular. Like, this is, and I think there's a misconception that the young kids are listening to this and only listening to this one thing. And I try to tell people, I'm like, I mean, remember when my mom didn't want me listening to, Little Kim or Foxy Brown, but I also listened to, like, Minnow Steel Pulse, listen to everything. So I think growing up, kids, as long as they're exposed to all of it, and they really are in this information age, that they have an appreciation for every genre separately.
And I think be a parent. Educate your kids. So the world has a whole bunch of stuff where there can't be an artist that you want to blacklist the artist because you're saying that the artist is influencing your child.
Right.
No, you're supposed to drill the knowledge into your child that even if him love the artist can't tell him to jump off a cliff and him do it.
Right. And it's just entertainment.
You get what I say? So I think it's people wanting to drop the blame upon artists, and them you they do what them do. Some of it is crazy, and I mean, I agree with some of it, but I'm not one to judge. Like them you that feed them family and they buy 1 million chain and I said something of them thing and I live them life. Let them do it.
Yeah, let them do it. Let the artists be artists and let them keep creating, because that's what they're signed up for. So thank you so much. I appreciate conversing with you a little bit, Konshens. Make sure you guys tune into the next episode. Until then, make sure you guys walk good with Style and Vibes.
Mark, big up on yourself.
It was really great sitting down with Konshens. I loved his take on the industry evolving and possibly needing new subgenres. That's it for this episode of the Style and Vibes podcast. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast and share with your friends. Also, make sure you leave us a rating and review so that it'll help us rank in iTunes. If you can't wait until the next episode, stay in the know by visiting styleandvibes.com, sign up for our newsletter, and make sure you're connected with us on social media. Until next time, I'm Michaela, your resident fly Caribbean chick, representing the culture with Style and Vibes. Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Style and Vibes podcast. If you like what you hear, and I know you do, share it with your friends and family. If you want more, make sure you visit styleandvibes.com and follow us on our social channels, Twitter and Instagram @Style and Vibes. Until next time, later, me peeps.